Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your monthly reading for April. This is a general reading for the Sagittarius collective, and because of this, the messages today may not resonate with everyone who is watching. What we'll be doing is we'll be pulling 2 oracle cards to start off the reading. For that, I'll be using the Secrets of the Mystic Grove, and then we'll move on to tarot. And the tarot deck I am using today is the Field Tarot. Now, if you are interested in having a say in the deck that is used each month for the monthly readings, please consider subscribing. It is my understanding that when we hit 500 subscribers, I get access to a community tab, and then I can run polls and allow you to choose the monthly deck that is used, almost like a viewer's choice. If that's not your thing, that is absolutely okay. You're still welcome here, and I appreciate your viewership. Now, all of that being said, Sagittarius, let's get to your reading for the month of April. So we are looking for messages for Sagittarius for April. And let's see what our oracle cards have to say today. Okay, Sagittarius. So your first card is conflict, discord, disagreement, common ground. And the image here shows us 2 birds who are obviously having some type of confrontation, and the only witnesses to it are the flowers and the insects. So Sagittarius, this might indicate that you are in the midst of having some type of a conflict. This could be with a significant other, could be with family members, obviously could also be with work colleagues, but even more so, it could be a conflict within yourself. Maybe you're struggling to reconcile certain things within you, or maybe your thoughts and your emotions. And some common ground is necessary to get over this hump. But when we pull tarot, we'll get more clarity on what this conflict is about and with whom. So this is card number 28 for those who may be interested in the numbers. Now, your second card is serenity, compassion, acceptance, contentment. And here we have an image of an individual with a bird in their hair, and they are completely serene, not flustered by this, listening to this bird's song, extremely calm. And I think this indicates that you need some serenity after going through this conflict. So whoever or whatever is causing conflict in your life, Sagittarius, you need to take a time out so that you could achieve peace. Sometimes we need to accept a situation for what it is. That means we don't necessarily agree with it, but just acknowledging its presence. For example, it might rain one day. We don't like it. There's nothing that we can do to change the weather, but we just have to accept the fact that it's raining and make the best of it and go on about our day despite the inconvenience that the rain may cause. The same might apply here with the conflict. It's trying to find serenity amidst all the chaos. And the compassion that is noted here on this card, it's not just extending compassion to another being, it's also compassion for you. So just like the conflict may be within you, Sagittarius, it's important to offer yourself compassion in the process. So that is card number 37. And it's interesting that if we reduce both of these cards, they both reduce to the number 10 or to the number 1. Which would be the Magician. So a lot of this indicates that these changes are in your hand, because the first card of the tarot is the Magician, and the Magician is the manifester. So it's up to you to try to find ways to deal with the conflict, resolve the conflict, and then find the serenity that you deserve. Okay, so we're now going to move on to tarot and try to get some more clarity about what this is all about, Sagittarius. over. Eight of Cups. Eight of Swords. So we have two eights. Five of Wands. 10 of Wands. Five of Cups. Page of Cups. The Hermit. Six of Swords. Lots of interesting things going on here, Sagittarius, and your oracle cards are making a lot more sense. So, Sagittarius, this deck in particular has words on it, and I'm not sure if you zoom in, you'll be able to see that. So the Eight of Cups is associated with retreat, the Eight of Swords with isolation, Five of Wands, it says competition, 10 of Wands, as we know, is burden. Five of Cups, which is right below the Eight of Cups, says disappointment. And then we have introspection, and then obviously the Hermit and Six of Swords transition. And I'm only reading these out loud to you because it definitely feels here, Sagittarius, that you are dealing with a lot and you are internalizing a lot and you are a little bit out of character as of late. Now, Sagittarius, when people are asked what is their favorite sign or who is their favorite sign, more often than not, the answer is Sagittarius. People love that sign. Why? You're friendly, you are affable, you say the right things, you make others feel good, you're comforting, you are jolly, you just have this positive presence about you. You're a good friend, you are loyal, etc., etc., etc. What I'm seeing here with these cards is that you, Sagittarius, are internalizing a lot of things. I can see here that you've been through some challenging times, Sagittarius, and you have been through hurts. There have been people who have hurt you. There are things from your past that you have not properly sorted out, things that you have not dealt with. Externally, you're charming, you're friendly, you're always in a good mood, you're very, very positive. But what's going inside is the complete opposite. You've taken these challenging things and you've taken the hurts that you have suffered and you've stored them inside without fully processing them, without doing the work to deal with them and to toss them aside. So they're piling up within you. And it seems that recently you've kind of retreated from your friend circle, your family circle, from your social circle in general. You've kind of been into yourself. You've been into yourself and you've been in your head. And that is where this conflict comes from. This conflict here comes from your lack of having made peace with things in the past or with people from the past. You have not had internal serenity, and that is what you seek. You've also fallen into the habit lately of comparing yourself to others. And that might be comparisons of just a different, all kinds. Their relationship is stronger than mine is. Or they have a relationship and I don't. Or this person makes more money than I do, or they live in a nicer place, or they've got the job that I want, and you've fallen into the habit of comparing yourself, which is not doing you any favor, Sagittarius, and it's very unlike you and unlike your character. All of these things that are going on inside of you have created a big burden, and your energy is a bit off, and you need to find a way to recalibrate that. You need to extend this compassion to yourself, Sagittarius. All the things from the past, it's time for you to sort them out. You have been going through a dark night of the soul. And for some of you, it just kind of like popped up because you've been repressing. And I think that's the word I've been looking for. You've been repressing everything that has happened over the course of many, many years. Now, what you need to do, Sagittarius, is you need to take this time off. You've been retreating from, socially. That's okay, but it's only okay if you've been doing the work. Sometimes, as we talked about, you have to accept the things that happened. That doesn't mean you like what happened. That doesn't mean you like the outcome of what happened. But just acknowledging the fact that something unpleasant did occur, a breakup, a death, a termination from a job, a falling out with somebody, just accepting the fact that something happened, accepting the fact that somebody disappointed you and didn't live up to what you thought of them, just acknowledging that. And then using that acknowledgement to drive yourself forward. You need to seek out people who could understand where you're coming from, because right now, Sagittarius, you're being very hard on yourself. Very hard on yourself. And here we have the Page of Cups, and we also have the Hermit. And I think you're coming to a point where you are very aware of this, but you're just kind of like tackling the way to process it. So what you need is a supportive group of people around you who could empathize and offer you the compassion that you need to offer yourself as well. That's where you'll get the serenity. You don't want to be around people where misery loves company. No, no, no. You want people who can extend that compassion to you, which you deserve, while you extend it to them and to yourself. And just trying to acknowledge the fact that there has been conflict and strife and disappointment in your life. You have to deal with all of the things that you have been repressing, because if you don't deal with them now, they'll turn into bigger monsters later. So you need to do all of that work internally. We see here the Hermit always represented with some type of a light source in front of them, not behind them, in front of them. And in your case, we have the card Six of Swords, the transition card, right after the Hermit. So we have all of this strife, all of this struggle, all of this dark night of the soul going on, but with introspection, with work, with taking time out to be kind to yourself. Very kind and gentle to yourself, introspection, then you'll be able to transition and get back into the Sagittarius that we all know and that we love. Again, the most favorite sign of all the signs, Sagittarius. And you still are. None of what we've said here today takes away from that, but you are going through a little bit of a challenge where it's time to just acknowledge things, sort them out, seek external help if you feel that would help you, and then move on into the next phase of your life. It's just a matter of a recalibration. For some of you, this might be quick. For others, it might take longer. But we need to acknowledge what is going on, Sagittarius. And after you do that, I think you will have the serenity that you seek, the peace that you seek. You will have made peace with other people and other situations and other circumstances. And once you make peace with that, then you could transition into more favorable situations. A little bit of a deep reading here, Sagittarius, but I think it's very necessary. Very necessary. It's necessary to deal with things now head on so that they don't become more problematic in the future. So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. Thank you so much. Until next time.